Now, fellow Kenyans, suppose today you decide to ask William Samoei Ruto, the president, the fifth president of the Republic of Kenya, who he is, then the answer that he will give you will surprise you. He will tell you, just like the other day he said, that he carries the wisdom of Moi. He carries the courage, yes, the courage of Jomo Kenyatta, that is the first president. And he also carries the wisdom, he also carries the education of Emilio Mwai Kibaki. And lastly, he has the plan of Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. So it means that according to him, he doesn't see any reason as to why he is supposed to fail. Listen to him.
I have the courage of Jomo. I have the understanding of Moi. I have the education of Kibaki. And I have the plan we shared with Uhuru Kenyatta. Niko na experience ya kutosha. Nimekuwa mjumbe miaka 15. Nimekuwa naibu wa rais miaka 10. Sio experience inatosha? Mimi sio mzee sana. Mimi ni kijana, mimi naelewa kufanya maneno. Mimi ni mtu naelewa. Mimi nimezaliwa huko mashinani. Sasa shida ya Kenya mimi naelewa. Sasa mimi nitasema nimekosa kufanya hii kazi kwa sababu gani? I don't have an excuse. So I have to do the difficult job. Hii kazi yote ambayo mimi nafanya kazi ngumu ni kwa sababu there has never been an opportunity for a person with the experience I have, with the education I have, with the knowledge I have in Kenya. So I must do it. Unaona wengine wanajaribu kunipigia makelele lakini makelele hiyo haini.
But the main question that we need to ask ourselves is this, that where did the rain start beating us? Or how did we end up where we are at the moment? This is the point, this is the moment, or this is the place that we were deceived by the crocodile tears in a church.
While down on his knees at the podium of the Faith Ministries Church in Karen Sunday, William Samoei Ruto breaks down. Between song and prayer, overcome by emotions following the Jubilee Coalition victory.
Fellow Kenyans, as we get into the discussion of what I want us to talk about, it's going to be a bit long, but I want you to watch it from the beginning up to the end, because it really carries a lot of details of what you need to know about our president and his relationship with the world at large. But before that, let me just quickly take a moment to remind you that if at all you're meeting for the first time, don't forget to click the subscribe button. You can as well like, you can share, you can drop me a comment in the comment section. Tell me what you think and where exactly you are watching this video from. If you're within the country, tell me which part of the country you're watching from. And if you're outside the country, you can as well tell me which country you are, or you can as well drop me the flag of the country where you are at the moment at the comment section that I can figure it out by myself. And also, thank you very much for your support. If you feel like maybe you have your support, maybe a cup of coffee, you can just drop me via that number on your screen. Let us jump into the discussion. Could it be, the first question, that could it be that the presence of Rigathi Gachagua in the United States of America is what is now triggering a lot of problems that William Samoei Ruto is going to face as the president of the Republic of Kenya? But then, that cannot be the case, because the relationship between William Samoei Ruto and the outside continent or outside countries has never been okay. At one point, he associates with the Chinas. And then after associating with Chinas, he goes to United States. So in other words, William Ruto wants to eat from both plates. He wants to pretend as if he is the best person. He wants to look like he's the best person. But in real sense, he is not the person that people see him as he is. U.S. James Enroy, that is Senator Rich, formally moves a bill to review Kenyan's NATO ally statute due to William Samoei Ruto's dealing with the Sudan's RSF, diplomatic fallout, extrajudicial massacre, and massive corruption.
His administration engaged in talks with Kenya over a potential free trade agreement, a first for sub-Saharan Africa. And now Secretary Rubio and other senior officials have ramped up engagement and confronted threats from al-Shabaab and the Islamic State head-on. But these efforts cannot be siloed. They must be part of a broad strategic effort to protect American interests in Africa while also protecting the U.S. taxpayer's pocketbook. Many African nations maintain troubling ties with China, including key national security partners. Just last month, President Ruto declared that Kenya, a major non-NATO ally, and China are co-architects of a new world order. That's not just alignment to China, it's allegiance. I submit for the record the text of that speech. I'm going to enter it in the record at the conclusion of the hearing that describes this. Relying on leaders who embrace Beijing so openly is an error. It's time to reassess our relationship with Kenya and others who forge tight bonds with China. And it isn't just an embracement of China, but also the, quote, new world order, end quote. Still, there are countries where meaningful engagement is possible, but only with sober judgment and clear-eyed realism. We must stop building U.S. policy in Africa around individual leaders and instead focus on strengthening institutions, expanding private sector ties, and empowering the region's young and dynamic populations. Watching President Ruto with the Chinese holding hands and talking about a new world order is just stunning. After all the work and effort we've put in there, and to see him talking about a new world order, you know, the new world order was constructed by the United States and democracies, capitalist countries that are human rights loving countries, and the new world order that these countries are talking about is being constructed by the autocracies, the outright communists, socialists, people have no respect for human rights. It's stunning to hear countries talk about wanting to join or promote that world order when the world order that was constructed after World War II has served us so really well. Certainly not perfectly, but then again, the world isn't a perfect place, but so much better than what you'd see if the autocrats took over. It's discouraging to hear that, and part of it, I think, is tied to the fact that when we do things in Africa, they seem to be individual-centric instead of a country-centric. We don't focus on institutions.
As we get into that point, this is what is happening. I remember I asked you that initially, that could it be that the presence of Rigathi Gachagua in the United States of America, because we all know that Rigathi Gachagua is an enemy of William Ruto. The United States of America, the current government of the United States of America is also an enemy of William Ruto based on his current behaviors and the way he's dealing with people. This is what the amendment says. Let me just quickly read it for you. What the amendment says, that amendment takes, that is the S Amiris 3628, 119th Congress 2025 to 2026, all information except text. Pages, that is S, construction and for the defense activities of the Department of Energy, the prescription military personnel strengths for such fiscal year and for other purposes, which was ordered to lie on the table as follows. At the end of subtitle E of title X11, add the following. Section 1265, review of major non-NATO ally status of Kenya. In general, Roman A, in general, not later than 90 days after the date of the enactment of this act, the Secretary of State, in coordination with the Secretary of Defense, the Secretary of the Treasury, and the Director of National Intelligence shall commence a review of the major non-NATO status of Kenya, conferred on June 24, 2024. Report, Roman B, report not later than 180 days after the date of the enactment of this act. The Secretary of State, in coordination with the Secretary of Defense and the Director of National Intelligence, shall submit to the appropriate committees of Congress and classified report containing the findings of the review required by Section A, including 1. An assessment of the relationship of Kenya with the United States in countering violent extremism, achieving and maintaining peace and security in sub-Saharan Africa and in Haiti as United Nations peacekeeping troops contributing country and an economic partner. 2. A detailed description of the military security relationship of the government of Kenya with the People's Republic of China, the Russians, Federal, and Iran, including any engagement agreement or joint activities since June 2024. Part 3. A detailed description of the political and financial links of Kenya political actors and institutions of Kenya with the People's Republic of China, the Russian Federation, and Iran. Part 4. An assessment of the relationship of the government of Kenya and key officials of the Kenya with non-state armed groups and violent extremist organizations, including the Rapid Support Force and Al-Shabaab. Number 5. An assessment of the trade and investment relationship of Kenya with the People's Republic of China, including with respect to Roman A, participation in the Belt and Road Initiative, and Part B, bilateral debate, debt, and commercial ties. Part 6, an assessment of Kenya as a financial safe haven for individuals and in entities on the Office of the Foreign Assets Control, Special Designated Nations, and Blocked Persons List, and foreign terrorist organizations, including such individuals and entities based in South Sudan, Uganda, and Somalia. And number 7, an assessment of the use by the government of Kenya of United States security assistance and intelligence support and sharing, including potential impact on state and non-sponsored actions against civilians, to include abductions, torture, renditions, and violence against civilians. Part C, appropriate committees of Congress defined in this section. The term appropriate committees of Congress means, number 1, the Committee on Foreign Relations, the Committee on Armed Services, and the Select Committee on Intelligence of the Senate, and number 2, the Committee on Foreign Affairs, the Committee on Armed Services, and the Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence of the House of Representatives. But then, talking about the RSF, there is a statement that was made by Rigathi Gachagua when he was saying that the leader of the RSF is William Samoei Ruto, not anybody that we thought of. But then we Kenyans ignored. I want us to listen to this.
For the deaths occurring in the Sudan, the real commander of RSF is not Hemeti, it's William Ruto, because for a movement to succeed, it needs money. The money from gold is being cleaned through Kenya to buy arms to go and kill women and children.
And you know my next question would be to substantiate these claims.
But I'm saying this guy was here, his movement was here the other day.
That's in the public.
Listen, no, I'm asking you. This man is international sanctions against him for genocide.
True.
He has been given a safe haven in Nairobi. He was here forming a government in KICC. That cannot happen without William Ruto. And I want to tell the international community.
But the claims of doing business.
No, everybody knows that he is selling gold through Nairobi. You may pretend not to know, or
No,
you
no,
may,
no.
you
I'm
may
not pretending. Don't shoot the messenger.
Everybody
here.
knows.
I'm just trying to find out.
Everybody
made claims that the president is doing business.
Everybody knows that why William Ruto is having relations with Hemedi through Nairobi is for the gold business. And the gold business, the proceeds are buying arms to butcher children
Okay.
and women. And I want to ask the international community, I want to say I'm available to give evidence, and I want to tell the international community, it is pointless to levy sanctions against Hemeti. The person you need to levy sanctions against is William Ruto. And this thing of Sudan will be sorted out, because if there are sanctions against William Ruto, he'll stop entertaining Hemeti. Gold will stop being processed in Nairobi. There will be no money to buy arms to go and kill children and women.
Being that Rigathi Gachagua, I'm sensing that Rigathi Gachagua might act as the United States of America's puppet, and they will really want to use Rigathi Gachagua because that it is the greatest enemy right now of William Ruto. There is a statement that Rigathi Gachagua posted on his Twitter account, and this is what he said: that the impunity in Kenya by Mr. William Samoei Ruto, and his mafia has reached Washington through the bill sponsored by Senator James Risch, chairman of the U.S. Foreign Relations. This bill seeks review status of Kenya as a non-NATO major ally. Status conferred on June 24, 2024, based on the relationship of the government of Kenya and key officials of Kenya with non-state armed group and violent extremist organization, including the Rapid Support Foreign and Al-Shabaab. Under Mr. William Samoei Ruto, Kenya has become a financial safe haven for individuals and entities on the Office of Foreign Assets Control, specially designated nations, and blocked personal lists and foreign terrorist organizations, including individuals and entities based in some neighboring countries. Again, the use by the government of Kenya of USA security assistance and intelligence support and sharing, including potential impact on state and non-state-sponsored actions against civilians to abduct, torture, detention. I think this one is just a repetition, is just repeating what had been, what I've read there before. Mr. William Ruto, we won. I think now this one is the most interesting part. Mr. William Ruto, we warned you on Sudan's Rapid Support Service, RSF, and Al-Shabaab. We asked you to bar international crooks and foreign terrorist organizations and the individuals from Kenya. But what happened? You assumed, I think. Mr. Ruto, Kenyans ask you to stop extrajudicial killings, unnecessary force, and the violence against civilians using state-sponsored militia police brutality, forced abductions and disappearance, illegal detentions, and blatant abuse of human rights. Within 90 to 180 days, within which the Secretary of State, Secretary of Defense, and Director of U.S. National Intelligence will report back to the U.S. Senate, I call on Kenyans to heighten advocacy to the international community on the ills that are happening in the country until we have the Kenyan we want. I urge Kenyans living and working in the United States of America to reach out to their senators with information and facts on what is happening to our beloved nation Kenya. We will not sit pretty and watch our country slip into anarchy, cynicism, and dictatorship. Kenya stands to lose big in defense and security strategy, partnership in research, security training, defense, military support, regional security role with the United States of America, and enhanced bilateral relations. Mr. William Ruto must answer to the people of Kenya and take full responsibility for reshaming our beloved country, Kenya. That is Rigathi Gachagua. And I've told you that this guy might act as a puppet that the United States of America wants to use to attack William Ruto, which is not a bad thing, because the main thing right now is people must be exposed. You must be exposed. No matter what, you must be exposed. You must tell Kenyans what you've been doing, what has been happening, and now what the United States of America now have engaged themselves in. This is not going to be a very easy thing. I would like you to tell me what you think at the comment section concerning what I've just read for you and the action that the United States of America is planning to take, considering the behavior and considering how William Samoei Ruto has been ruling this country with a lot of power, thinking that it will not catch up with him. It's time for, according to me, I think it's time to reassess our relationship with United States of America and others who forge tight bombs with China. And that is what exactly what Senator Charles said. After all, guys, that's just my thought, and that is all I have for now. Let me also know what you think in the comment section, but don't forget to drop me a comment, tell me what you think, and also please like this video so that it can reach as many people as possible. You can as well share it out. Until we meet again, I have been your host, Boniface Awina. Bingo.